Hi everybody, Wisteria here. Welcome back to Fables. This one's called The Ass and His Burdens. A peddler who owned an ass one day bought a quantity of salt, loaded up his beast with as much as he could bear. On the way home, the ass stumbled as he was crossing a stream and fell into the water. The salt got thoroughly wetted and much of it melted and drained away, so that when he got on his legs again, the ass found his load had become much less heavy. His master, however, drove him back to town and started out again. No sooner had they reached a stream than the ass lay down in it and rose, as before, with a much lighter load. But his master detected the trick and, turning back once more, bought a large sponge soaked in large quantities of water. He found when he got on his legs that he had a bigger burden to carry than ever, because, due to the master realising the ass's trick, he had put this sponge in one of the salt bags. Well, that's different. The lesson is you may play a good card once too often. And I do understand that, yeah. It means, like, obviously, that the ass did it too many times and therefore ended up with a bigger burden because of his games. The shepherd's boy and the wolf. A shepherd's boy was tending his flock near a village and thought it would be great fun to hoax the villagers by pretending that a wolf was attacking the sheep. So he shouted out, "Wolf, wolf!" And when the people came running up, he laughed at them for their pains. He did this more than once, and every time the villagers found they had been hoaxed, for there was no wolf at all. At last, a wolf really did come, and the boy cried, "Wolf, wolf!" as loud as he could. But the people were so used to hearing him call that they took no notice of his cries for help, and so the wolf had it all his own way, killed off the sheep, and after the sheep he killed the boy at his leisure. Well, you cannot believe a liar even when he tells the truth. And that is a very old tale, actually. I'm sure you have heard it before. The Fox and the Goat. A fox fell into a well and was unable to get out again. By and by a thirsty goat came, and, seeing the fox in the well, asked him if the water was good. "Good," said the fox. "It's the best water I've ever tasted in all my life. Come down and try it yourself." The goat thought of nothing but the prospect of quenching his thirst, and jumped in at once. When he had had enough to drink, he looked about, like the fox, for some way of getting out, but could find none. Presently the fox said, "I have an idea. You stand on your hind legs and plant your forelegs firmly against the side of the wall, and then I'll climb on your back, and from there, by stepping on your horns, I can get out, and when I'm out, I'll help you out too." The goat did as he was requested, and the fox climbed on his back and got out of the well. Then he coolly walked away. The goat called the fox, merely wanting his help and crying out. But the fox turned and said, If you had as much sense in your head as you have hair in your beard, you wouldn't have got into the well without making certain that you could get out once again. The lesson is, look before you leap. Good lesson. Always look before you leap. You don't want to fall. The fisherman and the sprat. A fisherman cast his net into the sea, and when he drew it up again, in it contained nothing but a single sprat that begged to be put back into the water. I'm only a little fish now, it said, but I shall grow big one day, and then if you come and catch me again, I shall be of some use to you. But the fisherman replied, oh no, I shall keep you. Now I've got you. If I put you back, should I ever see you again? Not likely. Don't be tricked. Obviously, it was trying to trick the man, and the man wasn't tricked. The boasting traveller. A man once went abroad on his travels, and when he came home, he had wonderful tales to tell of the things he had done in foreign countries. Among other things, he said he had taken part in the jumping match at Rhodes, and had done a wonderful jump, which no one could beat. Just go to Rhodes and ask them, he said. Everyone will tell you it's true. But one of those who were listening said, if you can jump as well as all that, we needn't go to Rhodes to prove it. Let's just imagine this is Rhodes for a minute, and now jump. Okay, that's a bit weird. Deeds, not words, is apparently the lesson. The crab and his mother. An old crab said to her son, why do you walk sideways like that? My son, you ought to walk straight. The young crab replied, show me how, dear mother, and I'll follow your example. The old crab tried, but tried in vain, and then saw how foolish she had been to find fault with her child. Example is better than precept. That's interesting. I like that. It's kind of cute. The ass and his shadow. A certain man hired an ass for a journey in summertime, and started out with the owner following behind to drive the beast. By and by, in the heat of the day, they stopped to rest, and the traveller wanted to lie down in the ass's shadow. But the owner, who himself wished to be out of the sun, wouldn't let him do that, for he said he had hired, turn the page over, the ass only, and not his shadow. The other maintained that his bargain secured his complete control of the ass for the time being. From words they came to blows, and while they were belabouring each other, the ass took to his heels and was soon out of sight. It's interesting. That's interesting. The farmer and his sons. A farmer, being at death's door, and desiring to impart to his sons a secret of that moment, called them round and said, my sons, I'm shortly about to die. I would have you know, therefore, that in my vineyard there lies a hidden treasure. Dig, and you will find it. As soon as their father was dead, the sons took spade and fork and turned up the soil of the vineyard. Over and over and over again, in their search for the treasure which they supposed to lie buried there. They found none, however, But the vines, after so thorough a digging, produced a crop such as had never before been seen. So basically, he told them that, and then obviously that created good vines. The vines produced a very good crop because they had dug all around. That was their treasure. Makes sense after all. Yeah, I quite like these fables. I think they are quite silly, and some of them, they're not worded quite right, but I like them like that. You know, a little bit peculiar. It's Old English after all, so thank you for listening. Please hit that like, share if you can, and please consider subscribing. Many blessings.